Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a great start to your week and hopefully you had a fun-packed weekend. Once again, we spent time with family, watched my nephew play soccer. I live for watching that. It's so awesome because if you know me, I started playing sports when I was very, very little, and I just love watching my sister's kids like thrive in sports. It's really freaking cool. But let's get into it. Today, the topic of the live is learning and honoring body, in parentheses, physical cues. Unfortunately, most women have decades of experience doing the exact opposite, ignoring their body's signals until it's an emergency, or they're just constantly arguing with their bodies about signals or signs, annoying needs that their body might need. It could be something like insomnia, aches, pains, injuries, painful periods, things like that. So for example, you might be able to relate to this, and this is partly a training for myself. Maybe your parents pushed you to be an overachiever, and at a young age, you learned to power through exhaustion and anxiety to achieve your goals. Raise your hand if that was you. Maybe you were a high-level athlete who learned to push through physical pain no matter what in order to perform and achieve a specific goal. That's me. Maybe you had extremely painful periods since your teens and your pain was ignored, or you were told, it's just normal. It's just part of being a woman. Maybe you've heard things like, it's not that bad, or you're just emotional. Who's heard that one? Maybe you've heard you're just overreacting, or everyone has period pain. You need to toughen up. Because many women have learned to ignore or minimize their body's needs and cues, you may need extra attention, extra practice, learning how to lean into that, to listen, to validate, and act on your own needs. And this is especially important during midlife. Women who are 35 plus, entering perimenopause, in menopause, possibly post-menopause, when you're in those transitions, your body is changing. What worked for you yesterday might not work for you today. And as you age, your body needs different things. And your needs might go against your natural instincts and patterns, what you used to know. For example, you might be used to just waltzing into the gym on your lunch hour, crushing a workout, and getting back to work. But now, you need fuel. You might need a snack. You may need a much longer warm-up. That's me. You also need more time to do a proper cool down to start the recovery process. That is me. And I'm sharing this because I'm going through it as well. And I'm continually being reminded that what I did last week, what I did last year, for sure, I cannot do this year. I need way more recovery time. I need great sleep. I need to stay on top of my nutrition. I need a 10-minute warm up for sure. I used to just go into my basement and crush a workout without having done any type of mobility or warm up. There's no way I can do that anymore. So that's ultimately what I am, shall I say, preaching today. And then the other thing too is you might not be able to quote unquote get away with as much as you did a few years ago, or of course in your teens, in your 20s. Things like less sleep, things like your weekend wine, things like skipping breakfast, things like skipping through exhaustion or fatigue. These are things that you probably cannot, like I said, quote unquote, get away with. And recognizing and validating your own needs as you build a supportive relationship with your body is so freaking empowering. And I think this is the perfect opportunity to listen to what your body needs, what it wants, and not just what others, aka me, wants for you. Yes, I am here to give you a plan and support you and push you and challenge you to be your best. But you know yourself best. As women, we have such strong intuition. And you will know if you need a rest day or you need to take it a little easier on a workout. And there's a difference between being lazy and just choosing to give yourself a little bit more grace, to do a way longer warm up and maybe do, one set of the strength training workouts. Maybe it's going for a freaking nap because you're just so exhausted. And I'm really leaning into that because I'm recognizing for myself, if I go too hard, too fast, and I'm saying this because the challenge is also starting today and people are excited. If you go in too hard, too fast, you will likely crash and burn. It is all about slow consistency for weeks and months and years, as opposed to like these mindsets that I am trying to change in my 40s that have been drilled or grilled into me since I've been a young adolescent. So next week, I will teach you how to check in with yourself, with your feelings, with your internal cues, but I want to just leave you with this to ponder if this has hit at all, and really get into the, shall I say, habit of checking in with what you actually need. We're so used to just being on autopilot and doing everything that's asked of us, even though we might be feeling some type of resistance and thinking, does my body actually need this right now in this moment? So I will shut this live off, let you ponder. And if you have any questions, make sure you let me know. Have a great day.